podcasting can be the framework and the groundwork for other avenues. But I would tell myself to slow down and I guess like Joel Embiid always said, trust the process, man.
Just the process, baby. Welcome back to another episode of the Bowie Podcast. You got your boys.
It's Count Qualms.
You already know Jesse Bowie Fitness.
What's going on, bro?
And today we have a guest. We have Mike Gaines from the Positive Gains Podcast. Thank you for joining us.
It's good to have you, bro.
Sure. Thank you guys.
Absolutely not a problem. We want to just start off, maybe get a little bit of a background, like who you are, where you came from, and kind of how you grew up.
Let's see. So I was born in Texas. Stayed out there for 6-7 years, and for the last 20-something odd years, I've been in Arizona. I love it out here. I'm in southern Arizona, in Safford, probably a place that nobody's ever heard of, unless you're a diehard MMA fan. I'm from the same town as Justin Gaethje, if that helps you out. Family guy, just like pretty much everybody else, like going to the gym, trying to stay in shape. And really with the pandemic, that's what caused me to start the podcast, because there was so much negative things in the news, just in general. It was so easy to find negativity anywhere where you looked. So for me, I was trying to be a beacon, almost a beacon of light. So that's kind of where the thought of the podcast came from. And then really the name behind it, obviously it's my last name, but I wanted to somehow incorporate positivity and my name into it. And it's been pretty cool because it's been something that my family can share and be proud of as well.
No, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Nah, but I mean, yeah. So going into it, the way we kind of heard about you was through social media, and it was very interesting to see because, again, we noticed that you had a lot of influential people that you've spoken with. You know what I'm saying? A lot of top earners. You know what I'm saying? And also big people that I knew from my childhood. I had to come and let him know, like, yo, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen this person here, and so on and so forth. So I guess the catalyst or maybe what kind of
the driving force of like why you started this podcast. I know it's for like the positivity and all that through the hard times, but what's keeping you going? Like what's that driving force?
Really, I guess I'd be lying to you if I said the feedback didn't help. But I would still do it even if it was just 2 people watching. But the driving force, just motivating, just trying to be something different. I don't believe that just because you work a 9-to-5 that you can't somehow impact the world or your community. You can impact a lot of people with your words, whether they're good or bad. So that's kind of the thought behind it, is just knowing that people are listening, adults, children, whoever, and just trying to be, I guess, somewhat of a role model. Because like I said a little bit earlier, it's easy to find negativity anywhere you go. So I think positivity is out there for forever.
Nah, for sure. But so I guess going into it though, I guess I just kind of curious to know, like, I saw one of the interviews you did with Omar Gooding, with likes of like Spoken Reasons and a couple other people. Are those people personally, or is that something that
how did that spring up?
yeah,
getting those guests on there.
No, some people, those 2 know. With Omar Gooding, I just reached out on Instagram, sent a DM, and I think I posted. He had agreed to it first off, and we were supposed to do something in June, but he had gotten sick. So then it took a little while to reschedule, but thankfully we were able to do that. And as far as spoken reasons, it's a funny story too. I'm also on Twitter, and he had posted he was looking for somebody to help with like website building, graphic design, stuff like that. And he just put a thing out and said, hey, you know, state your, put your work in the, in the comment section.
Yeah.
And so I did. And then from there, I kind of got picked to help him out a little bit with some things. And then in turn that led into an interview.
Wow. All right. So I guess from that, it's two parts. I always kind of have these like 2-part questions, but
Those are the 2 parts.
so to begin with, I guess it was just kind of like off the strength, you know what I'm saying? Just out of boldness, you reached out to these people and locked in those opportunities, right? I guess what's a bit of the mindset behind that, and like what made you feel like, you know what I mean? Where do you come off doing stuff? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna get this guy on my podcast.
You know, yeah.
Putting yourself.
You know what? I've always believed that you got to shoot for the stars, and I used to work at a Boys and Girls Club, and this is kind of where I started. I guess the groundwork is I used to do the special events and the marketing, and from there we were trying to reach people to help out fundraising and stuff like that. So, I mean, I got a lot of no's. This is back when Twitter was 2008, 2009. Twitter was still kind of fairly new.
Wow.
So I got no's all the time, man. I mean, left and right. So it was nothing to me starting a podcast. I said, well, most of the time people won't read it, or, if they tell me no, it's all right. Because instead of getting down, I just remember the people that have told me yes. So, it could be a bummer at times, but I don't stay down for too long.
Man,
I get beautiful mindset. Right
yeah,
there.
for sure. All right, I'm gonna hold off on the second portion of the question, and just kind of a bit of a personal moment with me personally. It's like hearing no can just kind of, it takes a toll on.
He gets butthurt.
You feel me? Like I'm not the one to kind of hear no and then like be okay immediately after. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I have heard no obviously a bunch of times in my life as well, just from reaching out to different like promoters or different people to try to work with or whatever the case may be. So it's like, what is it that kind of makes you not take it personal? You know what I'm saying? And what is it that
what is it? Compartmentalize. I can't say that word. On an old podcast, we couldn't say it for like 5 minutes, but how do you like separate the two, like personal and business? Like sometimes it's really difficult and it gets hazy for say people like us.
What is it? Would you say? Real quick, would you say maybe it's like life experience, something you've gone through in the past, or like, what I'm saying? Like what makes you so tough and rigid? Yeah, that's what I'm asking, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess really growing up, I had a single mother. My mom did everything for me. She was great, still is to this day. And she lived a lot by not living by with regrets. And as a child, I didn't really understand that. You're like, oh, that's just mom talking. Of course, you're going to tell me that. But as I got into an adult, I really started understanding, trying to capitalize. So as far as differentiating between personal and business, it's always been pretty easy, just because I always keep the groundwork as a business. And then if it evolves into something personal, then great. I'll put it here, which has happened with the podcast with some people, but if it doesn't, and I never hear back from people, that's cool too. It's just kind of like a on and off switch, just knowing this relationship right here is business, and then this one might be a little bit more personal, and then just, keeping with it like that.
No, okay. Yeah, I definitely appreciate that. Would you say there's maybe a certain mental aspect as well? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe some type of mental practices that you put in as like on a consistent basis in order to get to that point?
Yeah, I really think like the Boys and Girls Club again really laid a lot of that groundwork for me, because when I had managed it, I was 20, I think it was 21.
Wow.
When you managed it?
Yeah, I did the whole thing. And, So that right there was trying at times and very rewarding in itself. So that I felt like kind of with my mom's upbringing telling me, no regrets, blah, 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 mixed with now you're a 21-year-old guy running a Boys and Girls Club. It kind of forces you to go to another mental aspect. And that's why I feel like today I don't take things personal. You know what I mean? When I get these no's or things like that, just because I've been broken down way before that. So.
All right. So I guess that's one side of things, now as far as like the positive aspect of now you have somebody that you reach out to that you're excited about, you know what I'm saying? How do you kind of handle that? Like the highs as well, just to get into a bit of that.
The highs are cool, man. I'm not going to lie. Excuse me. Some people that I reach out to, they, I don't just get a business number. Maybe I get a personal number, and it's more of like, hey, how's your family doing? And excuse me, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Reaching out and now it's, a little bit more on a personal level where, like we were saying, you feel like a friend. So again, it's just knowing kind of not who to trust and who not to trust, but you start building a little bit more of a relationship and it's been great, man. I mean, there's been tons of highs. I mean, I can't pick, too many of them as far as trying to bring them all, in center point. But it's been rewarding. So I feel like when you get one or two yeses and they go start going this way, those no's that you get told or some negative stuff, now you don't really start to hear it anymore. You know what I mean?
All right.
The good outweighs the bad, definitely.
Well, so another part which is important for me, I say, I always get a little bit personal sometimes when it comes to like the questions. As far as like work-life balance, and then also family, like how do you handle, because you're married, I'm assuming, correct? You have kids. Okay, so how do you like blend all of that, saying like, all right, I got my family, but then also like the podcast is my passion, what I'm saying, it's what I like to do, and then
the business and all that, but
and also it looks like you're fit, what I'm saying? So like what is the what's the balance?
That's just a good camera angle, man.
I'm dead.
So I've got a 1-year-old and my wife as well, so it's like what is the balance for all of that entail for you?
You know what? I've always been kind of like a robot, even as a kid, because I had to get up early with my mom so she could go to work, and I have to go to somebody's house. And she always would say, you're not gonna make me late. So, I'm up and at 'em. So as far as balancing, I just keep the same routine. I'll wake up, I'll start, putting some breakfast on, then I'll start my workout, and then, kind of meditate, I'll get a prayer in, and then then I'll look at my phone. Okay, what do I got to do today? I know my kids got practice, maybe me and the wife are going to do a date night on this night. Okay, so this leaves me, and then I got my work window here. Now I got this much time and space to operate with as far as to do a podcast. So really what I might do is maybe I shoot a podcast before I go in. Maybe I do one after I get off of work, days off. But so far, I've been able to juggle it all pretty well. I always really keep, the family first. And then the podcast, I treat it like a business, but it kind of still is a hobby. Yeah. So, just staying in the moment and not getting too high or too low on it. Excuse me, but keeping a routine definitely has been key.
No, okay. I can definitely appreciate that for sure. All right, so that now leading back to the second part of the question from earlier, you mentioned web designing is something that you do as well, or was I
kind of? I mean, I kind of just stumbled upon it. Like I tell people, I'm not great. There's always somebody better, but I do okay for being a small town guy, and that's kind of what I was getting at with the web designing, was just like knowing that there's going to be people that are better than me. But when it comes to like the spoken reasons thing, just putting yourself out there,
Yeah.
because you never know, and maybe you get lucky. So yeah, the web designing, it's cool. You know, I've done a few, but I'm no expert, man. That's not really yeah, I wouldn't even call it a hobby, man. It's just, you know, sometimes people, hey, you know how to do this? Yeah, I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Oh wow, no, it's
So,
dope.
that is dope.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it got you the the interview
know.
with Omar Gooding. Is that his name?
No, that's
No, his
bespoken
brother.
reasons. Bespoken reasons. This is someone else.
Uh,
Yeah, you know, he's
I
Asian,
don't,
bro. He doesn't.
I
He
don't know.
doesn't.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
He doesn't know these
I was
people.
like, who?
Nah, but yeah, I asked him because I'm
Okay.
studying. I'm studying web design currently.
Yeah.
Pretty
Okay.
aggressively. Yeah, so it was just cool to hear that. The last few months I've been just kind of at it, just learning as much as possible.
Mm.
Mainly HTML and CSS so far. You know, so yeah, that's just kind of where I've been at. Nah, but yeah, it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope for sure. You know, but yeah. Any other points?
Yeah,
real quick?
so you're from Arizona, right? You lived there for 20 plus years. I was actually scrolling on your Instagram a little bit and I saw you had a signed CD from Futuristic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have 2 signed CDs from Futuristic.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nah.
I fuck with Futuristic. Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
good
okay.
rapper.
Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't know anything about him. And
yeah.
I guess about, oh man, maybe 5 years ago, there's another friend of mine. He's a rapper, rapper among other things, Fresh C, and they actually did a couple shows together. So he's the one that turned me on to Futuristic, because I remember him bringing me a flyer. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be at, I think it was Club Red in Mesa."
Mm.
He's like, "Hey, if you come through, you know, it got Futuristic." I said, "Who is that?"
Man.
He's like, "Hey, you got to listen to the music." So yeah, yeah, Futuristic, man. I like him a lot.
Yeah, I just thought it was kind of interesting seeing that.
Yeah.
Can research.
Well, the world, yeah, the world is small, man. That's what's crazy. You know, it really
It's
is.
so small. It's ridiculous. I mean, we found each other off of Instagram, bro, and we don't even have that many followers. You know, it was kind of interesting finding
To
that.
see, yeah, you know,
when he hit me with that, I was like, yeah, I'm so down.
no, you're definitely excited to have you on, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Nah,
Yeah,
but
I appreciate it, man. I try to, you know, kind of pride myself on reaching out to people, trying to collab, you know, things like this. And I've been ghosted, man. I'm not gonna lie. When I first started, man, you wouldn't believe how many people left me on red, fellow podcasters. I'm like, come on, man.
Imagine.
I'm just asking about your camera. You know, what camera did you use? And people wouldn't even respond back, man.
Oh man. All right. So I mean, I guess a bit about that. What kind of setup do you have currently? If you don't mind.
So it's funny. You know, I wish I could go back in time and, you know, redo some of my interviews, because first started out, I just had, you know, my iPhone, and I was doing you know, my not AirPods, my headphones in.
Yeah.
Now I've got a JLab microphone.
Oh,
It's all right. I got it from Best Buy. Then I got a webcam, all inexpensive. I still want to get, you know, more stuff, but just where I'm at right now compared to where I was, I'm doing good.
It's only right.
I mean? So, but yeah, I'm not where I want to be.
Nah, I mean,
we never are.
We're
We're always working.
It's always a process, man. It's definitely always a process.
So just to hit you with one last thing, this is what I usually do at the end of the show. With all the knowledge and information that you have now, with everything in your life and just your business, what would you do differently?
You know what? I would probably tell myself to, I still tell myself now, slow down a little bit, you know, as far as, just, I try to cram so much in my head, you know, because there's so many things I want to do, because like the clock is ticking, you know, and bigger than podcasting, just like, I feel like podcasting can be the framework and the groundwork for other avenues, but I would tell myself to slow down, and I guess like Joel Embiid always said, trust the process, man.
Just the process,
Man.
baby.
Wow. All right. So I guess there's that part is what you would say to yourself, but it's like, I'm not sure how old you are, but what
31.
advice? 31. Okay, perfect. So what advice would you give to 225-year-olds that are trying to figure their lives out, basically? You know what I'm saying? Because we're both
just
25.
podcasting, or
just in general, like,
I mean, any advice you're willing to give, man. Business, like personal,
anything,
podcast,
you know,
anything.
just have fun. I know that sounds dumb and repetitive, but honestly, I mean,
I've been having fun.
yeah, crying, huh? Yeah, don't feel like it's a job. I mean, you two seem like you guys got, pretty good chemistry as far as co-hosting, so that's pretty dope. And then just trying to think outside the box. Too many times I think people, so in my opinion, it might not be popular, but they want to limit themselves as far as, well, I got to do it this way, or no, you don't, man. You can do what you want. You can expand. If you want to be an author, you can do that because of the podcast. If you want to do a podcast in a foreign language, which is what I'm trying to work towards, do it. I would just say, do what you want, and don't listen to the naysayers, because they're coming. They're coming.
Oh, man. Nah. All right. That's definitely pretty. I appreciate that. It's very insightful, Yep. All right. So now I guess for the future, if you don't mind sharing, do you have anything that you'd want to
future endeavors, you mentioned that possibly a podcast
in a different language, it's smooth for sure. But it's like,
I'm working towards it. Been studying a lot. My wife speaks fluent Spanish, so I'm trying to get my Spanish better. I think it's all right, but it's pretty broken, man. So I'm not to the point where I can do it comfortably yet. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Also, like I was saying, a book. I wanna do my own books of like children's books, you know what I mean? Modernize them a little bit. I think there's a lot of great content out right now, but I have a different spin on some things. And that's another thing I wanted to say is about podcasting is you meet people, and sometimes you can get a service from them as far as like, maybe they're an animator or this and this and that, and it opens other doors for you. So that's something I'm looking at. I really want to do at least one book, but maybe a whole series of books.
That's dope. I mean, outside of this, I'll definitely be in touch so we can talk a little bit more about some of that for sure. Yeah, because a few of the things you talk about fall right in line,
Okay.
That's it. I don't always like to expose my hand, you know what I'm saying? But I've put like 2 books together as of the last few months, basically. So yeah, we can speak a little bit more about that for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty dope, man.
In touch. Yeah, no.
It's dope.
Absolutely.
It's dope. Nah, wow. But yeah, the way I did that though, if you don't mind me sharing, just with Canva. So I don't know if you've heard about that as far as children's books, because with my daughter, she's 1, she's getting older, and I figured to spend the money on the books is kind of goofy when I can just put it together myself, using different, these different free programs that exist out here. So yeah, canva.com is one of the places you just kind of put the template together.
Sponsored by.
And yeah, that's kind of how I went about going about that. But yeah, outside of this, we can speak a bit more about that if that's something that you'd be interested in. But yeah, we appreciate the interview with you today, man.
Coming on, man. We appreciate all that insight, all the knowledge. Honestly, you really opened our eyes to some things that we're just right there, just like having fun.
I appreciate you guys. I really do. I always like trying to collab and making time and just meeting new people, and just having a good time and spreading positivity. And if there's anything you ever need as far as whatever, man, just shoot. You guys both shoot me a line or whatever, and then I'll get back to you.
Nah, for sure. Yeah, it was nice meeting you today, Mike.
Nice meeting you, man. You want to drop your IG handle and I can put it in the video?
Yeah, at the Positive Gains.
All right, guys, be sure to check him out. Make sure he's got a lot of good content. So make sure you go flood everything. And yeah, thank y'all for tuning in today.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
As you can see, we had a great guest on this week. Mike really had some great insight, really had some great knowledge. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of the Bowie Podcast.
Hey, man, I know y'all see the pillows in the back.
Hey,
we're about to go cuddle.
We're about to go crunch some cheeks. Not yours. Come on, bro. It's your boys.
It's kind of quabs. You already know.
Jesse Boy Fitness. That's it. Oh, damn. That's terrible.
Thank y'all, man.
Love you.
Much love.